Hello and welcome inside the ACU TV or studio for this week's Optimist Newscast. I'm Paige Taylor alongside Carrie Johnston. Local band Weston and the Evergreen performed a concert at Radiant Life Church on Friday evening for students from across Abilene. The band, a house named for ACU students, is staying local after the release of new music. Optimist Allie Jones has more.
The idea of a small college band catching a big break seems to be the plot of a college comedy. So it might come as a shock to most that this dream is coming true for a local pop rock band, Weston and the Evergreens. Throughout the past 5 years, Weston and the Evergreens has grown from a few friends messing around in their dorm room and writing songs to releasing their new EP, Evergreen.
Someone said it really well. One of my close friends said you can tell how much more effort and much more dedication that the band put into based on the quality of the music. And so we're really hoping that some of these songs take off because of it.
I am very grateful for everyone that has invested in myself and the rest of the band members because we're only going up.
The band decided last year that they wanted to use their growing platform to help showcase 2 other local artists with their EP release show, Goodbye Alex and Maybe the Band. Clark Sullivan, who filled in for the lead vocalist of Maybe, commented on how every band at the concert could connect back to not only ACU, but also Midnight Worship.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really kind of a coincidental thing where a lot of our talented musicians in Abilene just happen to also love worship and love Jesus, and they end up with us at Midnight Worship.
This tight-knit community of musicians is full of promising talent. But no matter what happens next with Weston and the Evergreens, one thing is for sure, they will always have a special place at ACU. For The Optimist, I'm Allie Jones reporting.
ACU students traveled to Denton Valley Farms for the most recent ACU Cabinet event of the semester Saturday. Students made the 30-minute drive out to the popular fall venue in order to receive one of the 200 free tickets given out by the cab. Students then were given access to enjoy their numerous attractions, including wandering around their pumpkin patch and corn maze, interacting with the livestock, and participating in a hayride. One of the next big events for students on campus, Mingle and Jingle Christmas tree lighting, will be the launch of SGA's Christmas Around the World, which will also feature country music artist and ACU alumnus Aaron Watson. The event will be from 6 to 10 p.m. on November 7th. Men's fraternity Frater Sedalos hosted its annual haunted house this past weekend. The haunted house was canceled on Thursday evening due to a wind advisory, but it was still able to take place Friday through Sunday. The haunted house was set up in downtown Abilene and was open to anyone in the Abilene community. Dylan Roundtree, Frater Sedalos' fundraiser officer, said the fraternity has been putting on the haunted house for 39 years, since 1982. Roundtree, a junior business management major from Tyler, said a lot of hard work went into making this possible.
I'm a big Halloween boy, so being able to say I did this is something really cool. It's basically my whole club moment was getting to do this because this is what made me want to be a frat, so I've loved it. It's been really good.
Up next, cross country had a successful Western Athletic Conference meet, and both men's and women's basketball are prepared to start the new season. Here's Carrie Johnston for more.
Thanks, Paige. Cross country competed in the WAC championship with an explosive performance from sophomore Irene Rano on the women's side. Rano finished as the champion on the women's side, with the team also finishing third. With the most recent win, Rano earned her first place finish this fall, as well as the title of Cross Country Athlete of the Year. The men were led by junior Levi Chambers, who placed 24th. The next best runner for ACU, sophomore Dennis Legat, was just under 10 seconds behind Chambers. By the end of the meet, the men ended in 7th place. Next, the Wildcats will be competing in the NCAA South Regional meet in Waco on November 12th. Basketball season is right around the corner for Wildcat fans, with both teams playing on Tuesday. The Optimist Connor Mullins has more.
After a historic season last season, the men's basketball team prepares to enter a new era in a new conference with a new head coach. Though the 4th-ranked team in the Coaches Bowl has a lot of new players on the team and uncertainties to face, new head coach Brett Tanner feels good about how the team is progressing, but they still have a lot to learn.
You know, I was a little nervous at first because it's been a while since we've had new players, kind of since these guys came in. And so we haven't had to deal with that for a while. But I think these, like, again, I keep saying the same thing, but I think these guys have done a great job of really getting those guys in and building relationships with them and kind of doing what we do. And so it's coming along pretty good. I feel like is there still a lot of learning to do, of course. They're not going to be ready to play, right off the bat, but I think they're coming along.
One group that has been essential to ACU's new players are the returning players, who have done a lot to help the new teammates learn the system. One of those players is senior guard Reggie Miller, who elected to use his extra year of eligibility given to him by the pandemic and is excited to play for one final season.
This year is kind of the first year where we had those new guys come in. It was a little bit different, especially starting in the summer, with us having to do everything a little bit slower just to make sure guys are learning. But I feel like overall, those guys are buying into the process, and we're going to need them, so can't wait.
The men's basketball team will kick off their season on the road in Utah on November 9th at 7 p.m. on the Pac-12 network. As for the women's team, they're coming off a 14-13 season, as well as entering one of the strongest mid-major conferences for women's basketball. But according to head coach Julie Goodenough, she wants to implement a dynamic and powerful offense.
Goal-wise, we want to be the best team we can be. We feel like we have this potential, and our job is to make sure that our performance is getting us close to reaching that potential. We like to hang our hat on being a good scoring team. In the past, we've had some really good three-point shooting teams. I think we can do that again this year. I think with this 1-2 inside-out combo that we're going to be able to score at a lot of different levels this year. So we want to be a scoring machine. We want to be an offensive force that has to be reckoned with.
The team has also added multiple new members to its roster. One of those is grad transfer Emma Middleton from 2021 NCAA Division II champion Lubbock Christian, who never expected to be playing in Abilene.
It was honestly kind of a God thing, just like how I ended up here. I think I wouldn't have ever called that I would end up in Abilene, honestly, but I'm just so thankful that the Lord had that in mind, because without him doing that, I don't think I would have been able to meet all these awesome girls and be a part of this amazing program that I love and I'm sure I'll love forever.
The Wildcats play their first game on Tuesday, November 9th at 6 p.m. against Southwest, with the game airing live on ESPN+. For The Optimist, I'm Connor Mullins reporting.
The WAC soccer tournament is being held in Abilene next weekend, but the Wildcats aren't eligible to play after their loss this weekend against Lamar. The game ended after a hard-fought battle that resulted in 2 overtimes. Going into the final period of overtime, the score was tied with each team scoreless. In the end, freshman goalkeeper Lily Foster had 5 saves in the net while Lamar had 10. Lamar ended up winning 1-0, eliminating the Wildcats from postseason play. The final record was 6-9-1 overall, with a 4-5-1 record in WAC play. Volleyball hosted the Tarleton State University Texans Riders for their first match after last weekend's pod. ACU had an air-filled match with a total of 26 airs compared to Tarleton's 13, and also finished with a .127 hitting percentage. ACU struggled in the first set, losing by nearly 10. Next set looked brighter for the team, but they still lost by 4 points. Then the Wildcats fell in the third set 25-20, giving Tarleton the 3-set sweep. ACU did see some positives with its 44 kills, as well as saw 5 different Wildcats finishing with at least 6. Freshman Briley Steinhelber helped lead the team in offense and defense, recording 16 kills and 11 digs. The team's next games will be against the Sam Houston State Bearcats on Thursday, November 4th at 6 p.m. and against Stephen F. Austin on Saturday, November 6th at 1 p.m. Both games will be at home and on air at ESPN+. That's all for this week's Optimist Newscast. I'm Carrie Johnston.
And I'm Paige Taylor. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.